Fantasy football season is finally here. Drafts are getting underway, and there is no better time to dive in and make sure you know what to expect when you're going to be on the clock. In this series, we're looking at different mock drafts with different settings and a different strategy in every single show. Today, we're going with a Hero RB draft. Hero RB, people love it. Let's see if it works out well in 2025. I'm Tom Strachan, writer and podcast host for Fantasy Pros. This is Fantasy Sanctuary, though, where we have a non-stop stream of fantasy content coming your way throughout August with one simple goal. We just want to help you win big this year. We're going to use the Fantasy Pros Draft Wizard to mock draft. It is insanely customizable. You can sync your leagues to it and automatically copy your league settings. It'll adjust rankings for that as well. You can choose which experts, rankings, and insights you want to see, including mine, which are part of the expert consensus rankings over there. Those expert consensus rankings, they include over 100 different fantasy football experts from across the industry. Averaging them out, and year after year, the consensus rankings tend to be really valuable. Now, the Draft Wizard, I love the Draft Wizard. There's no waiting around for other people, nobody taking 6 kickers. Instead, we can mock against the Wizard and get feedback from top experts straight away. Check out the link in the description down below to start your own mock drafts right now. So we want to choose the 2025 season, then choose whether you want PPR, standard, or half PPR. Let's go PPR on this one. We want a snake draft. Then we're going to randomize and let the mock draft wizard choose where we're going to go from. So let's go with the 9th one in this. I'm choosing fairly normal settings here. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 1 kicker, 1 defense, and then 6 bench players. 15 rounds in total. So we can choose different ADP we want or different rankings that we want to use, but I'm going to leave these as the default. We'll take the composite ADP. Positional values, if you've got a league where tight end premium is involved in the scoring, or if they're particularly running back thirsty, then you can tweak these to make sure it reflects what your league draft is actually like. So we're drafting out of a 109. This draft, it's not been kind to us when we want to start with a Hero RB draft. You can see that Bijan Robinson went at 102, Saquon Barkley at the 103, and then Christian McCaffrey and Jahmyr Gibbs went at 106 and the 107. So our options to go with here: Ashton Genty, Devon Achan, Derrick Henry, Chase Brown. Now I really like Devon Achan. I think the Miami defense is going to be atrocious this year. I think that we're going to see a team that has to move the ball consistently to try and stay ahead of a bad defense. But I can't take Devon Achan ahead of Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty is just truly elite when it comes to breaking tackles. He's going to get involved in the passing game. Rich put out a video talking about must-draft rookie running backs recently, and he talked about how much Chip Kelly is going to be a major influence, and I have to agree with him. So we got Ashton Genty there. Now, Devon Achan makes it back round to us. In a real draft, I'd probably be taking Devon Achan here, but we are going Hero RB in this one. So let's take Drake London, one of my biggest hits from last year. I think that there's another level to Drake London with the stats when Michael Penix came into the team towards the end of the season last year were just truly fantastic. And I think that Drake London is possibly one of the lowest wide receivers who could potentially end up as the wide receiver 1 overall this year. So when the draft comes back around to us, we've seen Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen all go. I'm going to take Jaden Daniels. This feels just fun. So we start the draft with a running back, wide receiver, and a quarterback. We've got a nice mix. We're not particularly needing any position, which then means at this point, we can choose between Terry McLaurin, Jalen Hurts, or DJ Moore. I know the situation with Terry McLaurin right now doesn't look great. Maybe by the time you watch this, he's got his contract extension. But I still trust that they're going to ultimately pay him because the Commanders haven't had many superstars who are homegrown. And even though this is a regime that didn't draft Terry McLaurin has done plenty right by the Commanders, and I assume they will end up paying him because good teams don't end up trading players away at this time of year. In the 5th round, we're sticking with our Hero RB build, so let's take Zay Flowers here. Zay Flowers, yes, he missed a couple of practices for the Ravens recently, but by all accounts, he's doing fine now. It was a minor issue, and Zay Flowers just looks primed for touchdown regression. He only had 4 touchdowns last year. He only scored 2 on 7 end zone targets. Lamar trusts him, and that's enough for us to be able to trust him that he can unlock that side of his game. When the board comes back to us, We could take Patrick Mahomes if we wanted to be really weird and have 2 quarterbacks in the first few rounds, but that's not something I'm into. Instead, I'm going to lock in another wide receiver. This range is really nice with Jalen Waddle, George Pickens, and Calvin Ridley, all guys who I really like. I'm going to go with George Pickens. George Pickens just seems primed to be able to shake away the boom or bust tag that's been on him for the last few years, but so much of that came down to playing in Pittsburgh with a terrible quarterback situation, poor offensive coordinators, and on teams that didn't really want to pass the ball in the first place. Now he gets Dak Prescott, who's been truly fantastic at times, continues to be undervalued by the fantasy community. I'm willing to take that chance. When it comes back to us, we've got a choice between Aaron Jones on the back end of his career or Trevion Henderson on the front end. I'm going Trevion Henderson. The rankings are probably going to ding me for it a little bit, but Trevion Henderson, maybe he doesn't start the season hot and maybe Ramondre Stevenson keeps him in check, but I'm okay taking that risk. I think it's completely fine. When we get back around the corner, we could add a tight end in Travis Kelce or Mark Andrews, but I'm willing to push tight end a little bit further at the moment. And let's take Jalen Warren, who looks firmly set to have all the pass protection role for the Steelers. Reports out of training camp say Caleb Johnson is not doing well in pass protection, and Jalen Warren's good at that. So if that keeps him on the field, keeps him in Aaron Rodgers' good books, that seems like a good bet to me. We now have a whole host of tight ends in this range. But look at this. Team 10, TJ Hockenson. Team 11, Sam Laporta. Team 12, George Kittle. So again, I'm completely fine pushing it knowing that one of Travis Kelce or Mark Andrews could make it back to me. Instead, let's take a look at the running back position and let's go with Jordan Mason, a guy who I feel much better taking Jordan Mason at his ADP than I do Aaron Jones. Reports around the Vikings say that they could give Jordan Mason a decent bit of the goal line work. Jordan Mason looked like a really good player last year. Yes, he doesn't offer much pass catching upside, but I'm okay saying that I don't necessarily need that when I've got Ashton Genty, when I've got Trevion Henderson. So both our tight ends come back to us, and look, how am I going to take Travis Kelce over Mark Andrews? And for what it's worth, I really like Mark Andrews' situation in redraft right now, with Isaiah likely going to miss 6 weeks from the beginning of August. That's going to make it very difficult for him to play in those first couple of games. The type of injury he's got with the foot injury, it can be one where players can be slow to ramp back up. And Mark Andrews in the games without Isaiah Likely last year, his splits were really healthy, and I'm betting on him to have a comeback. You know he wants a big game against the Bills to start the season. So we're in round 11. We've got Ashton Genty, Drake London, Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Zay Flowers, George Pickens, Trevion Henderson, Jalen Warren, Jordan Mason, and Mark Andrews. This feels like a fun team, really good hero RB team. You know, we took our hero there and then we left the position alone until round 7. Concentrated on wide receiver, made sure that's a complete strength. And now we can go pretty much any direction we want. We don't want another quarterback. We need Jaden Daniels to pay off. Tight end, there are some okay options that we could talk about, but instead, I think we have to be looking at either running back or wide receiver. Now, wide receiver, we've not taken one since round 6. We could take a swing on somebody like Trey Harris as an interesting rookie, but the camp talk hasn't been great about him. So instead, let's take Trey Benson, who, in James Conner's own words, said that he expects Trey Benson to play significantly more this year. Now, if that comes to pass, that could be really valuable for us. Then when things come back around, we're going to take another swing at a rookie in Baishal Tutin. Now, I know a lot of the training camp stuff has been about Tank Bigsby or about Travis Etienne not getting involved. And yes, Baishal Tutin has these kind of fumbling issues, but when the games matter, I'm going to count on traits and explosive ability to get Baishal Tutin onto the field. So we're seeing defense start to come off the board. The Bills go just before us. Look, these teams down here in round 10, don't be like these teams taking a defense early. They could have taken the likes of Keon Coleman, a swing on Travis Kelce, Darnell Mooney in this range. This team over here could have had Mark Andrews, Austin Eckler, Rashad White. I just do not see the value in taking the defense that early when defense particularly in fantasy scoring, it tends not to be sticky year to year. If you click on the view full analysis, then you get a much more detailed breakdown of the team. Top players, you drafted 2 players ranked in the top 3 of their position, Jaden Daniels and Baltimore Ravens DST. As we could expect, it's pointing out in week 7, we are going to be in a little bit of a, we'll have to find some other players, but a wide receiver we're well covered. Tight end, I mean, everybody's used to streaming tight ends to make up for it. Baishal Tutin is number 2 running back in our consensus sleeper rankings right now. We got Mark Andrews in the 10th round, 2 rounds later than he's actually ranked, so plenty to be interested in there. The team strengths, this one which I really like. You see, we're strong at quarterback, we're strong at kicker, we're strong at defense, we're strong at flex, we're strong at tight end, and we're strong at wide receiver. The one area over here that's worth mentioning is the bench, where we're ranked the number 1 running back bench. So even though outside of Ashton Genty things get a little, I don't know, let's say we're taking some speculative shots after Genty, we've got enough there that we can pair up and play matchups week to week, because Genty has to hit for us, and that could be a really fun recipe. So that is our Hero RB mock draft. Let me know how you're feeling about this strategy in 2025. Do you think it's viable? Do you think that you could have done it better? Let me know which players you see as perfect hero running backs. Now go check out this video where we talked about wide receiver rookies who are must draft players in 2025.